Yeah, this is an informal talk. If you have any questions, just sing out and talk and we'll address it. So it's nice that way. Well, the Art Museum, I was in here once before, but this is really a nice place, isn't it? I like the feeling of this little area here. Now, okay, in retirement, it's all about the shoes you wear. The only shoes I wear are golf shoes, sneakers, running shoes, hiking boots, and slippers. And over the years, that's evolved. I've had to add orthotics and ankle support. Other than that, the shoes are the same. Okay, here's a menu of what we're going to do today. I'm going to jump around, but let's start up with a kind of off the walls piece. I was down at the River Beach in Howard one day, and it was during the evening, and I was driving my car down. And I leaned out the window and took this picture. And I got home and I said, wow, I've seen pictures not that good in modern art museums. So that was an abstract picture I took. And another topic is, it particularly happens with cell phones. You have a good picture, you like it to say, oh, do you want to see this? You look at it for 3 seconds and that's it. You never see it again. And even when you took the picture, you look at it for 5 seconds and it's gone. Well, what if you wanted to remember that picture? You were at a special place and you said, that is worth remembering. Or sometimes you even have a story or a thought and you say, oh, if only I had a picture to go along with that. Well, I have a solution, and that's called poetry. You can write a little poem with any picture you want to bring back the memory. And there's a why is that doing that? The Japanese have a form of poetry called haiku, and it has some rules to it. It can only be 3 lines. It can only be 17 syllables, and the syllables go 5, 7, 5 in the lines. Now this is right up my alley. If postcards are too much for me, this is really easy. So you can put one of these on a picture. In fact, I did. Here's a haiku. It's a picture of nothing, write 17 syllables, and I'm an artist and a poet. So one picture, Patti, remember that, okay? Put that in my obituary. Patti McGrath, artist and poet. But here's another example of where it might be used. I was with Peter Troll. Have any of you taken walks with Peter? You know, a lot of you have not. He's the Howard Conservation Commission, and he knows everything about birds. And he talks all the time. He has 40 talks a year, and everyone is different. So if you look at the Howard Conservation Commission site, he's a good one to sign up and see. Well, we were out at Red River Beach and we saw a bird. Birds were flying all over the place. Birds were scurrying into the water. They were quacking. And he said, see that bird? The bird was just standing there like this. And he said, that's a semi-palmated plover. And 2 weeks ago, that was in the Arctic Circle. And he just stopped here to rest. Wow. And he'll rest a little more, but he'll end up in Argentina in a month. Wow. And I said, that is my bird. I didn't care what anything else I saw that day, pretty or not, that little guy was my bird. So to remember it, I wrote a haiku. So now in that picture, it says, my little brown bird from the Arctic stops here and rests. The ends in Argentina. So that's just one form of remembering pictures with a little poem. And another thing, if you're looking at your picture, even your own good picture, you're only looking at it for 10 seconds and it leaves your mind. But if you commit yourself to a good picture, I want to write a poem about it. you're involved with that picture and it sinks in a lot more than it would if you just pass it over. So we'll see some of those sprinkled throughout this talk. Okay, we've done haikus. Patti and I, it started when Patti had a hip operation 12 years ago. And every day I drive her to physical therapy and Dennis. I would drop her off and walk in the Dennis beach. And the next day I'd walk a little bit different. And by the time she finished therapy, I'd walk the beaches in Dennis. And I said, oh, I'm almost around the Cape. So I started walking some more. And I realized, Mark, they're not even close. And Dennis is pretty close. You're gonna have to drive to Falmouth and back and Provincetown and back. And I'm starting to get bored. And Patti said one day, can I walk with you? And so with a new hip, we started out walking 2 miles a day and then 3 miles a day. And pretty soon it was just very enjoyable. And we just kept going. And we never stopped. Oh, here's another haiku. Move your feet, exercise, add some thought, you're on a hike, add love, you're on a journey. And I like that picture because it's kind of unclear what Patti's up to, whether it's a long hike or just out. That kind of sums up our memory for me. Okay, the perimeter walk. That's the walk we did. It took 150 days. It was 360 miles. The rules, we had to do the entire perimeter, no breaks. That says walk on the beaches, and if you come to a river, you swim across it. And on the ocean side of every building, never on pavement. Island or optionals. We didn't do it in sequence because we didn't want to do all of Falmouth in the winter. We wanted to split it up on rainy days, and we had to do the streams in the summer, so that was fun. Challenges, our age. Well, we were 72 and 73. Our age was an advantage. If I had been younger, I'd get out there and be saying, hey, Patti, let's hurry up. We have 7 miles to do today. Pick up the speed. But what we decided to do is, you know how when you're hiking and you know you can do, say, 5 miles, and one day you do 7, and people say, oh, I didn't know you could do it. I'm glad I did it though. Well, when we were at 5, we'd say, let's do 3 and go to lunch. So what kept us going in our old age was, hey, we'll go out, we'll pick out a restaurant and go to the restaurant. Oh, here's a place. This is down in Yarmouth. That's the start of a hike. And Patti said, Mark, do we have to walk to that point way out there? And I said, yes. And it's only a mile and a half. What I didn't tell her though was, once you get to that point, it's 2 more miles over a rocky beach. And so we got there. We did the 2 extra miles. And then Patti said to me at the finish of that, Mark, where are we walking tomorrow? And at that point, 5% of the walk in behind us, I knew we could get it done. With that attitude, it's just going to be a walk tomorrow, one the next day, take a day or 2 off, another walk, but we could do it. So that was one of the key moments for me. Private property. Anybody recognize that sign? Yes, that's in Chatham, out on Morris Island. Now, what it would boil down to is sometime if we're on the beach, Patti would be up higher, and I'd say, hey, Patti, what does that sign up there say? And Patti would answer, welcome. Every no trespassing sign, or a private property area. Patti would say, come on, Mark, you had more guts with that stuff than I did. So, but we saw a lot of those signs. And you know what? In the last 10 years, they're multiplying. more people and more people are putting them up and trying to protect whatever. That is another sign. Okay, the other thing, we are so lucky. Out here, we have the seashore, we have the ocean or Atlantic, nothing but sand. But you get down around Mashpee, I think that's the beach in Mashpee. So that was a challenge. Where's the thing? That was kind of tough. That was down in Mashpee also. We tried traversing this and couldn't do it, so we came back the next day and just went down to the ocean and swam around it. There's Patti, that's going around the rocks. That's right down in hallway down at the Chatham Lighthouse Beach. That's a swim around. This was a butt crawl. Big chunks of ice were out in Eastham. Not too much, but a lot of mud. This is where I was going to make a lot of money. You know how in soft sand you sink down and it's about 30% speed what you're doing? I said, what I'll do is invent mock sand walkers. And I cut off a pair of skis, duct taped them to the skis, put them on, and I was out in, I forget what beach on the North Shore in Dennis. And I said, oh, that's good. And I said, oh, there's a mud flat. I'll just walk across that and test them out. Well, I got 3 steps out, and the skis and the mud acted like a suction cup. And I couldn't take a step, and no, and it wouldn't work. So finally, I gave it one last lunge. My foot came out of one of the skis and buried, and I was sitting down in the mud flat. So if anybody wants to pick up that idea and make some money on sand walkers, and that's the ski that didn't get down in the mud. Oh, this was a tough one. Sandy Neck over in Barnstable. That's a big peninsula that you walk around. It's about 12 miles around. I had done this half before with a hiking group. So I dropped Patti off from the other side, 6.5 miles from the parking lot. It was, 80 degrees out, but Patti had just been to the dermatologist, and the dermatologist said, oh, I just gave you a shot, you can't go out in the sun anymore. Okay. So she was dressed like that at 8 degrees, walking alone 6.5 miles. Look at the people behind her. I wonder what they were thinking as Patti came up to them dressed like that. So congratulations, Patti. That was a tough one. Challenges, I think there were 20 swims altogether. Patti's a good swimmer though. Hiking a hurricane. You know, if you have a hurricane, we haven't had any. Trish back there is my partner in leading hikes for newcomers. And usually on the agenda, I put these hikes, but if we get a hurricane, I'll let you know we'll go and hiking. Melissa's hiking in a hurricane. That's Nauset Beach. Oh, this is another fun. This is down at Woods Hole. There's this little peninsula called Juniper Point that you can walk around. It's all rocks, but it looks like you come very, very close to the house. But you don't, that's raised up 15 feet. So you're down on the beach. So if you're down on the red line, you can't see the house and they can't see you. So that was fine. But Patti, on walks like that, she gets bored. That's a stairway up. Patti said, Mark, I'm leaving, I'm going up the steps, see what's up there. Patti, you tell a story.
I'm not going to stand. What I would do, if it wasn't boredom, I just think it was too tiring. But anyway, because I had just had a new hip put in. So I went up the steps, and if I saw, the owner, I would apologize and take off my baseball cap and tell them I was doing rehab and show them my white hair, because I didn't want to upset anybody. And show them the next picture. This was a totally different experience.
Yeah, that's where Patti went up.
This woman came, she was a doll. She came out and she said, you want to see the house? She said, I'm part of the help or something. You want to see the house? So I was like, sure. And then we were waiting for Mark to join us.
So I came and there's a GPS tour of the house. It was funny. Patty was afraid to see him, the woman was just happy to see him.
Oh, she was so sweet.
And then
so
she said,
sweet. Oh, do you want to stay overnight? And he said, oh, yeah. And she said, and I said, no, I don't want to stay overnight.
well, it sounded a bit
It
creepy,
was
but thinking of
really
it,
creepy.
the owners were Swiss family. Just all kinds of money. They come here for 2 weeks of summer, and she was getting prepared for that. But other than that, I think she wanted us to stay there and maybe give her a few bucks. Maybe, but they were very
Rather
nice.
give her the $3 or $4, whatever, the box, and then leave.
I don't know what she was. Okay, that was the inside of the house. The inside of the house is done by an architect that studied under Frank Lloyd Wright.
Yeah.
So it's old vintage, but it had a sunrise dining room and a sunset dining room.
Wow.
The exact opposite. This was the sunset dining room. Okay.
Is that house called the airplane house? Was that-
Yes, it is.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah, I
it is.
know, okay, cool. Yep.
Give
Lucky
me
you,
one.
you got in there then. That's pretty cool.
You know, that's about to sum it up, you know, as we're getting near the end. You know, I knew we were gonna finish. We're about 15 days left. And the feeling I had is we wanna finish, it's getting cold. But we just don't want this to end.
Yeah, it was fun.
So it took about a year. It wasn't just the walk, it was the solitude. 95% of the time, nobody else was in view, discovering things, disagreements. Have you ever had an unkind word pass between you and your spouse or partner? It's happened, it's happened a lot. Well, you're in the house, you have an unkind word, goes this back and forth, back and forth. And we have a hike to do. And we never gave up a hike. We go on the hike, driving like this, going out, getting out of the car, slamming the door. And as soon as you take 3 steps on your walk, it's all gone. It's over. All you're thinking of is getting to the next checkpoint. So if ever you're in that situation, just go for a walk. Okay. Okay, any questions on that? That was a fun time in our life.
As you did the different parts of the Cape, did you have a master like map that you kind of marked where you had gone to kind of keep track? a
Yeah,
little
I did.
somewhat?
I had a GPS and I connected that to Google Earth.
Okay.
So Google Earth is just a huge map and you know, so I come home and I'd upload it to Google Earth, paint it red and keep track of it that way. And also, what Google Earth was good for before every hike. And what I didn't want to do was to show up a place where do I park, but before every hike, I check out Google Earth and I knew exactly where I was gonna park. So, yeah.
Tell them about taking bites, because we don't
Oh,
want to
yeah.
get beat.
Well, one of the things is, when I hike like this, I hate to go out there. I like one-way hikes. When you go out, you say, oh, this is wonderful, and then you turn around. I've been here before, I'm just on board. So what we tried to do was, when we showed up at some places, put our bikes at the end of the route, drive around to the start, do the hike, hop on our bikes and come back and get our cars. Yeah, we did that quite a bit.
Question for you. What part of the season did you like the best? I'm saying when you're doing this, I'm saying, was the spring better than the fall, the winter better than the summer? You know what I mean? What did you enjoy better?
Well, I'll give you an answer. I don't know, spring and fall were nice. Summer was a bit hot,
Okay.
but Patty's good in cold weather. That didn't really, but we were
I would
not.
say
She looked good in hot weather too with that outfit on, right? She's good.
But
Yeah.
I can't stand the heat, so
Yeah.
I would always say the summer was the worst, the winter was the best for me.
Okay, Pleasant Bay, right in our backyard here. This was kind of Well, I'll tell you, when we were coming down here on a walk around the Cape, you get to this break here. So what's the answer? I couldn't swim across it. That's moving too fast. So what I did was walk back up here, walk across Pleasant Bay, then down here, and I'm done. I've done it. One of the things about the hikes is you don't have to do islands. They're optional. So part of that in my mind was, gee, can I walk across Pleasant Bay? And you look at that on the map, and that's 2.7 miles. I said, that's a long way to walk and swim. But if you focus in on Google Earth, it's the same map. You see a lot of sandbars. So I said, I wonder if I could walk on sandbars and walk across Pleasant Bay. So I did a kayaking, came out and checked it out with kayaking. I knew exactly where this little stream was to kayak. And then I'd get out and take a reading. And that says the reading was 1.5, water was deep 1.5 at Artlinier's Cove plus 2.35 hours. And then I did a lot more scouting out. And I took a lot more readings. And you just take a ride out, and this, I still remember this, you take a ride out, that water looks only 1.5 feet deep. You have an anchor, you throw it out, and you get out, and you're looking at your Google map, there's no trees, so you're looking at your GPS, and okay, take a right here, and take a left here, go, and I get out about 20 minutes, which was probably, I don't know, 1/3 of a mile or something. And I turned around to check, and my kayak was gone. And I said, oh, you're in the middle of Pleasant Bay and you lost your kayak.
Oh, my.
But then I took a few deep breaths, and what it was, when you're 1/3 of a mile away from your kayak is this big. So by taking a real close look at the horizon, that was just something. But I came back to the kayak and did that. Okay, here's our destination. This is on the final day. I recruited a friend, who had just had just finished the Appalachian Trail. And he was a supervisor of lifeguards. So I felt that was a pretty good partner to have along. Jack Farley's his name. That's Jack. And that's what the flats look like at low tide. Walk there, there's one channel right in the middle you had to swim across, but other than that, it was walkable. And it was always below your knees, so it wasn't that difficult. And there was the final walk with a swim over here to Simpson Island and another swim across this path. So that was fun. And then to walk to Nauset Beach. Let's see, there was Simpson. Let's do Hog Island. Hog Island, out in my scouting trips, I went by Hog Island and I saw that sign, Hog Island, no camping. I said, this is in the middle of anywhere. Why do they have stupid signs like that? So I got up close to it. It said, you're very welcome on Hog Island, but please, no camping without permission. And here's the phone number. So I called the phone number. I said, I'd like to stay out there. And they said, sure, okay. And I was just so excited. And I gave them a day. Sure, go ahead. Just thanks for letting us know. So we did that. And of course, we walked out to Simpson Island, then across here. Oh, what am I missing? Oh, that's the walk. Oh, and the nice thing about, we were taking tents, and putting tents on your backpack and walking with tents is tough. But this, you put them in a dry bag, and you just drag them behind you. So it's really easy to go camping, just dragging your tents behind you. And there's Jack. I think he's pulling that with his teeth. Here's our camping, just a wonderful sight. Osprey nest. I don't know what to have. Wake up in the morning and look out the backyard. Of course, we're on Hog Island, so we had to bring Hog Island beer. And that's the view from the tent. What got me a little bit disappointed, when you climb in the tent, although it was just netting like that, I couldn't see the sky. I wanted to be part of the sky, but I couldn't do that. Wake up in the morning, come back, okay. We hiked to, no, this time we kayaked to Little Sipson Island. You know, if you're going north on 28 and you cross over that bridge just before you get to, just after you get to East Hill, depending on which way you're going, over the, is that the Muddy River? Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so we kayaked out there, and that's what it looks like. It's very prominent as you're driving up 28. There it is, same sign, different phone number, but I got permission. Go out and gather mussels, cooked mussels on a gas stove, had some bagged food, and then time to go to sleep. And I had bought a bivy bag that you sleep in. I didn't want to be in a tent. And night came. You feel, when you're looking up at the stars and you're all alone, you feel so insignificant. It kind of comprehends what this system is about. And I love that sign there. You are here. So that's kind of the feeling you get. And I remember looking at, there was a full moon, looking at the moon and watching that. I thought I went to sleep, but I woke up with something and the moon had only moved 2 inches. And then it moved 2 more. And I thought, I'm never going to get to sleep. But finally, I just conked out. And I woke up and the moon had gone away and all I saw were the stars. And that was just, you just get this feeling of, you know, being there and being part of something. And that was just great.
I can hear it.
Yeah, the sound system here, that's, who sang that?
Don McLean. Oh, Don McLean.
Yeah, Don McLean. Yeah. Okay. Yes, I was still sleeping while my partner was there. He was a lot faster on his canoe. He had to grab hold of the buoy and wait for me. Okay, that's, I'm gonna leave out the rest. Okay, what else have we got? Any questions on that? Oh, wow. I didn't have the map there, but one of the other things was, I wanted to walk between the islands out there. It's a straight line, you go from Strong Island to Hog Island to Sipson Island, to Strong Island down bottom. And that's just a one-shot walk. I did it in pieces. But after one of them, I get back to the parking lot that, I don't know where it was, in Shadow. And the fishing warden was waiting for me. And she said, do you know you can't gather mussels out there without a license? Season. I said, I knew. She said, well, do you have any mussels? I said, I was just out for Sunday walk. And she had seen me from her office roaming around, walking in the water by near these islands. And she said, okay. She didn't ask me to approve or inspect it, so she turned out to be a nice woman.
Mark, is there a particular, like waking up and seeing stars that evening? Are there particular journeys or experiences that just stand out even among the others?
Yeah,
I know they're all special, but.
Yeah, no, that's right. It's, but a night like that, that's why I'm showing it here. That was special. Oh, a note. Both of those islands are shut down to visitors now. We have our kids and grandkids coming in 2 weeks, and that's one thing I wanted to do, was to take them out there. Let's all spend the night out there. And they could have done, nothing. But they're now closed down.
Why?
One reason I heard, I know there were college kids, no fires allowed. But the owner or something saw a fire had started out there, and no fire engines can come out there. So you can see it on one hand what's happening, but
Simpson Island is being rewild.
Simpson,
Simpson Island, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, all the houses have been torn down, well, not all of them, but most of them have been torn down.
we say a little Simpson. which is-
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. Well, let's do a short one. Oh, this is a fun one. Chatham.
Now, I wonder, how many of you people are aware of this fact? Chatham, the best cross-country skiing in the United States. You agree with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Well, I'll tell you why.
there are 11 reasons why. Warmer weather than Vermont, flat terrain when you're on a beach, never trail speed, unlimited number of trails and a variety of trails from beach to hills to golf courses to woods, easy commute. Where else can have scenery of crashing waves and skiing with seals? An inch of snow is enough. In Vermont, there are laws to follow. We need a lot of snow. We need an inch. 40-mile trail. What other place has a 40-mile trail? We can ski from Eastham to Provincetown, one shot, never go across the river. No place else has a 40-mile trail. Trails are never crowded. And post-ski, you're never far from a pub or ice cream. Have I got you convinced now?
Yeah.
Oh,
This is an old picture.
there is the fine print down there on the right is, but it doesn't snow enough. But other than that, it's a great place to ski. And here are just some skiing. Oh, that's Patti at Chatham Links Golf Course with her skis on.
It hasn't been like.
St.
that
Connery,
for years.
skiing near the surf. Patty skiing with her friend. That was just fun, just ski right up to a seal.
Wow.
This was more on Chatham Lake Beach. Had a group there. Oh, Eastwood Ho is one of the classic places. And Eastwood Ho, the golf course comes and plows the parking lot so you can go in and do this. That's going up the hill. You know, you never get a scene like that anywhere else.
Mm. Beautiful.
That's a nice thing too. There's the leader Don Cook way down there. Can't keep up with him. Captain's Golf Course is a great place. Ski the dunes in Provincetown. The beach in Truro. Harding's Beach in Chatham. That's never too cold for us. And I will go in, this is in memory of Don Cope. I skied with him for 20 years. I led the group for 12 or so, and he led it for 8, and then passed away about a year ago. Good memories of Don. Don was the guy, he's just unbelievably fit. Don, what do you do? What do you do when the weather's bad? He said, well, when the roads are too slippery to bike and the trails have too much snow to hike in, those are the days I kayak. Good going, Don.
He's amazing.
Okay. Time for a longer, let's do this one, whatever this one is. Oh, Full Moon Beach Party, this is with newcomer before the time. In February, sent out a note, let's have a beach party. In February, turned out to be 25 degrees, white food. And granted, we had 60 people show up in February for a beach party. Build a fire, have good food, hang around and talk, wait for the moon to come out. More of this. And then Jay Kennedy brought a flag, and this is what made it for me. You know, you talk about moments That was another moment. We had 60 people in unison, everybody singing, having the flag like that. It was just a real emotional piece. And I'd like to think we could do that again. That was probably 12 years ago. And, you know, I'd like to try that and hope we could do it again. Okay. Boston Beach in COVID times. During COVID time, everybody was shut in. I went out to Boston Beach a lot. And nature, have we got any museum people here? Anybody? What about this? And nature created a museum during COVID time. Let's take a look at it. It started off at the entrance, where that tree came down from the top and just paused on its way to go for a swim. But that's a sculpture of a loving mother and father and a little child. And I saw that and I said, boy, that's nice. That's a nice sculpture. And then you look at the side of the cliff and the winter frost and the hard-packed winter frost had just broken up. And that exposed some ancient civilizations. I don't know who lived there, but there they are. And there's another civilization. And you kind of wonder who lived there. And even another one. So as part of the museum, here they're representing ancient civilizations. And I used to take Thoreau's Cape Cod book out with me and just sit down, relax. There was a wind that day, so I ducked behind that. I wouldn't try to read the chapter, but I had underlined enough stuff that I could look at it and read a phrase and say, gee, that's a nice thought. But then I heard a noise behind me. Henry David Thoreau wrote that. There was somebody up in the cliff.
Isn't he cute?
It was Henry David Thoreau reciting a phrase from his book, the ocean will never be as beautiful as it is today. He said that 175 years ago, and here he is saying it again, and it's still true. So I said, Henry, want to take a walk with me? Now, Henry has lost some stature in his last 170 years, but he still has a good mind. He still has good ideas. So let's go for a walk, Henry. Then we found an etchings gallery in the museum. And the conditions were just perfect. That's an etching in this high-packed sand that the runoff from rain or the tide had created. And that is just a gorgeous piece of art. Now there's another one. A little bit of anger towards that, but it's still a work of art. Here's Mother Nature. Mother Nature doesn't look like she's being treated very nice there, but still nice. Okay. And the thing about that is, it's not as if that's fixed. Every 6 hours, the tide comes in, erases it, and creates a whole nother etching gallery. So it was just a fantastic piece. Okay, Henry, what do you think of this surf?
Thousand wild horses of Neptune rushing to the shore with their white manes streaming far behind.
Now, if I can. I know. The surf is like 1,000 wild horses of Neptune rushing to the shore with their white manes streaming far behind. Thank you, Henry. You know, and I said, Henry, I got that on a picture.
Is he gonna turn around?
Oh, there it is.
The sea.
Oh,
And now can you see what Henry saw? Maybe Henry was even standing at the same place when he saw a picture just like that. And 1,000 white horses, wild horses of Neptune with their white manes streaming far behind.
sea nibbling voraciously at the continent.
The sea nibbling voraciously at the continent. Thank you, Henry. This is Boston Beach, and if you've been out there, it doesn't have any rocks on it. That had huge rocks the entire length of the beach. It even had a big rock that I climbed up on. That was a huge rock there, right in Boston Beach. Little sculptures down on the beach. And it also had a geology section. And this is a piece of geology history. Back when the glaciers were melting, they were melting in the southern part first, so that gray stuff at the bottom of that, maybe that came from Buffalo, and as the ice was melting out in Buffalo, it streamed and carried with it a lot of the Buffalo local sediment, which was that gray. And then maybe 1,000 years later, when they were melting from up in Vermont, that's when that runoff brought the red stuff. So you can see the different pieces of geology. And then it got all covered over with sand and trees began to blow. There's a shelf. And there's some more geology pieces. Oh, and you can take a nail or a twig and write on this stuff. It's not that solid. In fact, I picked up a piece of the rock, squeezed it, and it's nothing but a very fine powder. And when the wind comes up, it's all just blown away. And sometimes you see those cliffs out there and they're completely flat. But what happens is these hills that are forming grow up to the top of the cliff. So it looks very smooth. Well, there's my friend Seal. That's Seal, and he lived in that rock. And he walked out over the beach and all the people. He was a good guy. Loved to get water splashed in his face. But then spring comes. The surf is no more. The big rock starting to get eaten away there. The big rock within a month just disappeared. You know, it's that fine stem. As soon as the wave hits that, it just crumbles. The etching area has galleries disappeared. All the rocks on the beach and sculptures there disappeared. The historic settlements and all of the nature things were gone. Even Seal was getting colored off. But Henry, time for Henry to move on. Henry, what else you got to say? In nature is the preservation of the world. That's the motto of so many organizations. And one more.
Man, I stand there. Put all America behind it.
A man may stand there and put all America behind, which is the last sentence in his book, Cape Cod. So this is what the beach looked like just a few months after that. So the entire museum has disappeared, and thousands of footprints. And I don't know if anybody got to appreciate what was there just 3 months ago. It's still a nice beach, but thank you, Mother and Henry. Okay. Any questions on that?
But you showed Henry again.
Patty thinks Henry had a cute little box.
Looks like a spring.
Let me see, one more. Cross-country skiing. And now let's get into the other activities. An adventure after your adventure. You know, when you go home, you've been hiking, or biking, and you're hot and you're sweaty, you just want to take a shower. And an outdoor shower is the best place to do it. You know, you might even be thirsty after a shower, after a bike ride like that. So why not take a beer, you know? A beer in an indoor shower
Not the same.
would be horrible. It's just like this cringe. But here, I'm outdoors, I'm in nature. So why not? You know, if you look around, you're really in nature, have your beer. What if you're hungry?
Soggy cracker.
And it turns out that English muffins are not good for showers, not good for showers. They do get soggy.
Is that the
Okay.
breakfast beer?
But, you know, what if you've been cross-country skiing? Oh, you can shovel it out. You turn on the hot water, it melts the bottom boards just fine. So it's nice and warm and cozy. In fact, it's even better because there's this much distance between the bottom board and the siding. And in the fall, the wind comes right through there. But now the snowbank's covered it up. So it's really cozy. Oh, that's why I wanted a feast. I have my romaine lettuce and salad. Salads become finger food in the shower. Have some oysters. There's a stick of asparagus. Oh. Thank God for Photoshop.
It's a happy picture.
You know, cleaning up is easy. And just do this and the dishes are done. Shower beer is good beer, no utensils are necessary, etc. When the beer is gone, my body is clean. And now, I think it will be on the market for Christmas, but I'm writing a book. Because there are thousands of books on the market. I think this will be unique.
Yeah.
When you see this on the bookshelves, recipes for the outdoor shower, just scoop it up. Okay. Any questions on outdoor showers? Yeah. One. Doesn't Chatham look like a giant bird in flight? This is the head. That's Chatham. Now this is over in Brewster. That looks like a huge, powerful wing. So it just caught my, you know, the head and eye, the beak and the eyes, and that's around Morris Island. These are just some shots, random shots. Oh, this weather vane. I'd probably take 150 pictures of this weather vane. I really liked it.
Going down.
You know, it's nice. It looks like a ship in a storm and so forth. Anybody recognize that? It's Chatham people. One day I came back. This was about 10 years ago. And I said, oh, what a disappointment. It was as you're driving towards Lighthouse Beach on Bridge Street, there's a small building there that had that weather vane on top of it. And every time I went by, you know, I said, I did this show.
Did it come back?
What?
Did it come back?
No, it's been around for 10 years now. So really, Chatham, I should ask the archivist here what happened to that, because that was I don't know whether somebody stole it or the owner took it away to put it somewhere else. But if you ever see it, let me know. I want to confront whoever owns it. Just a picture taken from under the Bridge Street Bridge. That stands out nice in the snow, just the colors blazing after you. St. Christopher's Church downtown. And our kids took sailing lessons once. Okay, there's just one more piece. Okay, looking ahead. It's Patty's favorite thing when my golf buddies gave me. Mark, we're not running out of money, we're running out of time. Are you for that? Okay. My final adventure. Where should my remains remain? That's a question. You know, if you look at the old days, you know, 200 years ago, you were born in a church, you were baptized, you grew up there, you had a job there, and eventually you were buried there. So there was a connection for the family to keep in touch with their ancestors. But that's all gone today. You know, our kids, if I'm buried in Howard, they'll never come back to see it. So that interconnection is missing. So what can we do to address that? Well, I think of a virtual cemetery. I told my kids, when I die, cremate me, take whatever share of the ashes you want, not required, and put them, spread them on a place that I would like and you would visit. That sounds fine. So there's a rock, Patty and I, this is out in Chicago, was saying, gee, that's a nice place. We'll have to tell the kids about it. You know, there's Mark and Patty, and it's virtually inscribed. And we took the kids to see it. I was no longer there. Okay. Now, how are we going to modernize this whole process and keep this intergenerational connection alive? Well, it's going to be an app on your phone. So, on your phone, and all the kids' phones, on their calendar, it will pop up Mark and Patty's anniversary. And they'll say, oh, that's good. And then the video will play.
Nice.
Okay,
I like it.
thank you. Any questions? Or
It
comments?
was wonderful.
Inspiring.
I want to know what your 8 favorite walks were, what the 8 favorite.
Oh, favorite heights?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you said you have
It's up
that up
there.
there,
Oh,
Mark.
I know, right.
The 8 favorite
Oh, you
heights.
do that?
Boston Beach.
But you can click.
Why don't you just, yeah,
I
just
want to
name
know